Welcome everyone. Today we're taking a journey through American cultural history focusing on three powerful creative forces: music, film, and literature. These art forms don't just entertain, they reflect the struggles, dreams, and changing identity of the United States across time. Let's start with music, one of the most influential cultural exports of America. American music is deeply rooted in a blend of traditions brought by indigenous peoples, African communities, and European settlers. Spirituals, folk songs, and work songs formed early foundations. Out of African American communities in the late 19th and early 20th centuries came blues and ragtime styles built on rhythm, emotion, and storytelling. From these roots emerged jazz, one of America's most original art forms. Cities like New Orleans and Chicago became musical laboratories. Jazz introduced improvisation, musicians creating melodies in the moment, which changed how music could work. Legends like Louis Armstrong helped bring jazz to global audiences and proved that American music could be both technically brilliant and emotionally powerful. By the mid-20th century, new styles exploded. Gospel influenced rhythm and blues, which helped shape rock and roll. One of the biggest breakout stars of this era was Elvis Presley, whose performances helped bring rock music into mainstream culture. Rock and roll wasn't just sound, it was attitude, youth identity, and social change. In the 1960s and 70s, music became closely tied to protest movements and social awareness. Folk and rock artists wrote songs about civil rights, war, and equality. Soul and Motown also rose during this time, with polished production and powerful vocals that crossed racial and cultural boundaries. Later came hip-hop, born in New York City communities in the 1970s. Hip-hop combined rhythm, poetry, and street storytelling. It gave voice to experiences often ignored in mainstream media and grew into one of the most influential global genres. Today, American music continues to evolve through pop, rap, country, electronic, and fusion styles, constantly mixing influences from around the world. Now let's move to film, another major pillar of American cultural history. American film became globally dominant largely through the rise of Hollywood in the early 20th century. What started as a practical filming location with good weather quickly became the center of a massive entertainment industry. During the silent film era, actors relied on expression and physical performance. One of the most famous early stars was Charlie Chaplin, whose visual comedy crossed language barriers and reached worldwide audiences. When sound was introduced in the late 1920s, movies transformed. Dialogue, music, and sound effects added realism and emotional depth. Film genres expanded, including westerns, musicals, crime dramas, and romantic films. By the mid-1900s, American cinema entered what many call its golden age. Major studios produced large-scale films with strong storytelling and recognizable stars. Movies became a shared cultural experience. People gathered in theaters weekly, and film began shaping fashion, speech, and social attitudes. In the 1970s, a new generation of directors changed filmmaking styles with more realistic characters and experimental storytelling. One landmark example is The Godfather, which showed how film could be both artistically respected and commercially successful. Technology kept pushing cinema forward, from color film to special effects to digital production. Modern American films now range from independent low-budget storytelling to massive visual effects blockbusters. Streaming platforms have further changed how audiences watch and discover movies, but the American film industry remains one of the most influential in the world. Now let's turn to literature, the written voice of American culture. American literature began with diaries, religious writings, and survival accounts from early settlers. Over time, writers began developing distinctly American themes: frontier life, democracy, identity, and freedom. One of the earliest widely recognized American authors was Mark Twain, known for humor and sharp social observation. His stories captured regional life and questioned social injustice through satire and memorable characters. In the 19th century, poets like Emily Dickinson explored inner emotion and personal perspective with unique style and structure. Her poetry showed that American literature could be deeply introspective and innovative. The early 20th century brought modernist writers who experimented with narrative and symbolism. During this time, novels examined wealth, class, and the American dream. A famous example is The Great Gatsby, which explored ambition, illusion, and social change in the 1920s. Writers from diverse backgrounds increasingly shaped the national voice. African American authors, immigrant writers, and regional storytellers expanded whose stories were told. Literature became a place where identity, race, gender, and power could be examined openly. Later in the century, new genres grew in popularity, including science fiction, mystery, and young adult fiction. These forms reached broad audiences while still addressing serious themes about technology, society, and morality across music, film, and literature. One key pattern stands out: American culture constantly reinvents itself. It absorbs influences, responds to social change, and experiments with new forms of expression. These creative fields also influence each other. Books become films, music shapes movie soundtracks, films inspire novels, artists collaborate across mediums, culture becomes a conversation rather than a single stream. Another important theme is access. Over time, more communities gain the ability to publish, record, and produce their work. Technology from radio to television to the internet helped cultural expression spread faster and reach wider audiences. Today, American cultural output is global. Songs, movies, and books created in the United States are consumed around the world, and at the same time, American creators draw inspiration from international traditions. The exchange goes both ways. So when we talk about American cultural history, we're really talking about a living system, one shaped by diversity, debate, innovation, and storytelling. Music gives it rhythm, film gives it imagery, literature gives it voice, and together they help tell the ongoing story of a nation, not just how it looks, but how it feels and thinks.